Hey guys, how's it going? I would like to start off this video by saying that I am terribly sorry for not getting this Q&A response video in anytime sooner. And the reason is because of, so I am taking a little class known as Organic Chemistry 2. Oh yes. And because of that test, the previous week before, I did manage to make some video clips and all that stuff. But the thing is that I was so nervous and tense up while I was doing that particular Q&A video that I just absolutely hated the way that I did the Q&A. My responses to you guys' questions were very negative, and I just looked like downright depressed. Because obviously organic chemistry is going to make you very depressed. By the way, I did very well in that organic chemistry test. But so that's basically the reason why I've held off until now in order to basically upload this video, because I had to redo the whole entire Q&A just so that I want you guys to get the very best responses from me possible, because you guys deserve that. So with that out of the way, it's time that we move on to the Q&A. So this little part right here that I'm going to be explaining about is just for new people that are who are just new to this whole way I do Q&As on this channel. If you want to skip this whole entire part, basically just skip to the time code that I'm going to put somewhere on this video, I don't know where. But yeah, just skip to that specific time code, and that's when I'll actually start talking about my giveaway and the my responses to you guys' questions, all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are sticking around, thank you very much. So the way I do Q&As on this channel is very interesting, because I don't have a webcam or anything like that, because I'm so poor. The way that I'm doing Q&As is basically I split it into two videos. So this video is essentially my response Q&A. It's essentially a video where I responded to people's questions that people have posted in the previous video that is known as the pre-Q&A. So, and I hope that makes sense. So basically what happened is that 2 weeks, actually this Q&A is different. 3 weeks ago, I put up a video called Pre-Q&A number 2, and in there, that was where people could put in their comments. And then what was supposed to happen was last week I was supposed to make a video about me responding to those questions and all that kind of stuff. So so if you guys are wanting to ask any questions or putting it in this video, sorry, I cannot do that, because essentially then I would need to make a video on top of this video in order to respond. No, see, it doesn't work. You have to respond if you want to ask me any questions in order to participate in the Q&A. You need to put in the comment section of the pre-Q&A with a maximum of 3 questions you need to ask me in the pre-Q&A. That's how I do Q&As on this channel. I know it's extremely inconvenient, but again, because I don't have a webcam, and also even if I did have a webcam, I wouldn't have the proper amount of time in order to dedicate a Q&A to it, because I'm just so busy. As you guys understood that I'm taking organic chemistry, so yeah. But yeah, I heavily apologize if you guys are just coming into this video now and you wanted to ask me some new questions. I heavily apologize for that. But anyways, but be sure, and just listen to me, just make sure that next time though, on pre-Q&A number 3, when that video does come out, when I hit 3,000 subscribers, make sure that you put in your comment section, in the comment section of that video, your questions that you want to ask me. Yeah, so with that out of the way, now it's time that we move on to the giveaway contest and my responses to your to everybody's Q&A questions. Alright, so here's the moment that you all have been waiting a long time for. It's actually almost a month, and yeah, that's crazy to think about it, and I heavily apologize again, guys, that it took me so long to make this video. But anyways, yes, the giveaway contest. Oh yes. Now the thing is that I noticed that there are actually not a lot of people that participated in this particular giveaway contest, and I don't know if you guys happen to miss it or anything like that, but please tell me in the comment section if you did, because basically what happened is that in the pre-Q&A, I put in a little thing where if you called me a maniac, then you would be entered into this giveaway contest. And yeah, and I hope you guys didn't miss that. I hope that's not the case. But if you happen to do it, please tell me in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure that next time that I do something like this, I will do it better. But anyway, so there were only like really 3 people that enter into this giveaway contest, and I put them into this little Tostitos jar right here. And well, let's get started. So I'm just gonna shake it up like crazy, and you guys can do a little drum roll. Although I wouldn't recommend it because who drum rolls at a computer screen. But anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna shake this thing up pretty well. And then, without looking at it, I'm gonna stick my hand into this cookie jar right here. Okay. Alright, who won this? Dante Law, congratulations. You are the winner of this Data Disc giveaway card. Congratulations, man. So basically, in order to basically get this card, just contact me at my email account, Saiga GeneCast at gmail.com. I probably put it up somewhere around here. Yeah, just give me your address and I'll be sure to mail this thing to you as soon as possible. But yeah, once again, Dante Law, congratulations on winning this Sonic Mania Data Disc promo card. Alright, so now it's time that we move on to the my responses to the questions that you guys asked. And the very first person on this list is, and I'm going through everybody in alphabetical order. And like the way that I did in the previous Q&A video, I've also put everybody's time codes right next to their name, so that, you know, if you're not interested in, you know, like hearing my responses to any, you know, other people's questions, you could just simply just click onto the number right next to your name, and then that's where I would respond to your questions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so once again, the way that I answer everybody's questions in alphabetical order, and the first person on this list is Dante Law. Hey there, Dante. Once again, congratulations on winning this card right here. Yeah, just hit me up at my email account, and I'll be sure to mail it up. I would be sure to mail this thing to you as soon as possible. But anyway, so you start off by congratulating me on 2,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, Dante. Your 3 question is, what's your favorite food? Are you going to review more Sega Dreamcast gaming products? And are you going to review more vinyl products of video games from Sega? Okay, so what's my favorite food? Okay, I absolutely love food. I am a connoisseur. I love trying every single variety of food there is out there. I love it. But if I did have to pick what is my favorite food, it probably would have to be a special Vietnamese soup called pho. Yeah, it is really good. I believe they call it in English beef noodle soup, but honestly I think pho is way better. And do not call it pho. It is not pho, it's pho. But yeah, pho is a really good soup. I absolutely enjoy it. It is really delicious, and I would highly recommend it. That if you ever go to like some kind of like Vietnamese restaurants or any of that kind of stuff, be sure to order that bowl, and be sure to put in a lot of sriracha chili sauce, bean sprouts, and basils in there. It makes it taste really good. So your next question is that, are you going to review more Sega Dreamcast gaming products? Absolutely. The reason why I, you know, basically running this entire channel is because I'm extremely passionate about that console. And, you know, and I feel like it's extremely underrated. I personally feel it's extremely underrated. I think there should really be more YouTube channels out there to basically talk about it and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I decided to create this channel all about it and all that kind of stuff. And I'm very glad that you guys, you know, are really enjoying my videos and all that kind of stuff. And because of that, I'd be definitely sure to make more of these awesome videos for you guys, talking about my favorite console of all time. So am I going to review more vinyl records? Absolutely. I think the data disc releases are very awesome. They are very well made, very high quality and all that kind of stuff. And of course, you know, they come up with all these awesome stuff, like this data disc card right here. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there's actually, I don't know the exact company that is making these particular records, but apparently there are actually Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 vinyl records that are coming out right. I don't know if it's now. I'm not up to date with those particular records, but I believe they're coming out, and I'd definitely be sure to pick up those because they sound pretty. They look pretty cool and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, absolutely, Dante. I am going to review more records of video games from Sega and all that kind of stuff. And once again, at the end of his comment, he congratulated me on 2,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. I'm doing very well, Dante. I'm very glad by reading your comment that you're doing great as well. Thank you. I'm really glad that you like seeing me because, yeah, it's really great to see you too, Dante. I always enjoy answering your comments, and because you're freaking awesome, man. Thank you so much for everything. And yes, you ended up calling me Michael is a maniac, which is how you entered into this contest right here. And once again, man, congratulations on winning this Data Disc Sonic Mania card. But yeah, I really enjoyed answering all your questions, Dante, and I hope my responses were pretty good enough for you. So yeah, thanks, Dante, for letting me answer your questions, and thank you for being awesome. Alright, so the next person that I'm going to be answering the question off is GK Mineral Legend Gaming. He starts out by congratulating me on 2,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, GK. His 3 questions are, what's your favorite console from this generation of systems? What type of computer do you use? And what's my favorite Mario game? So, my favorite console from this generation of system, that's a very interesting choice. Because I don't actually have any one of those 3 consoles. Yes, I'm a very poor college student, so I'm not able to afford that. But however, I have looked at these consoles, and I think, to be honest and to be fair, I'm probably very split between the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. The PS4 is coming out with a lot of awesome sequels to games that I absolutely loved. You know, all that kind of stuff. Not loved, I still love. That's the way I should say it. Because PS4 is getting Kingdom Hearts 3, it's also getting Shenmue 3, and I believe I used to love Railroad Tycoon when I was younger and all that kind of stuff, and I think there was I think it's on Steam, but you know, I love playing things on consoles and all that kind of stuff, but I believe there is a spiritual sequel to that game coming out on the PlayStation 4 or something like that. Again, I'm not like the most up-to-date with every single modern game there's out there, but it's still pretty awesome that we're gonna get a Kingdom Hearts 3 and we're also gonna get a Shenmue 3 on the PS4, and that's more than enough of a reason for me to want to go and buy a PS4. But I also like the Nintendo Switch. I think the Nintendo Switch has a very interesting library and all that kind of stuff, but however, honestly, I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this and all that kind of stuff, but I think at this moment, I think the Wii U is a better choice to get and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I ever showed you guys and all that kind of stuff, but the Wii U has a lot of pretty cool titles on this kind of stuff, and a lot of people are actually like starting to put this stuff in Goodwill right now. I actually got these 2 games right here, like complete, Super Smash Bros. Complete. Let's see here, Donkey Kong, Country, Tropical Freeze, all complete and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know how well you can see it on the camera. I hope you guys can see it. I don't know, but either so. Actually, it's upside down. Sorry. Yeah, who puts a sticker upside down? Some people. Nah, anyways. But if you can see the sticker, it actually says $2.98. Yes, I paid only $3 for each one of these 2 games right here. You know, and all that kind of stuff. And you know, and the Wii U, you know, like, and that's, I think, the trend of most Wii U games right now. It is filled with a lot of interesting and unique titles to that system, and they are very cheap right now. The Switch, on the other hand, I think it has a lot of Wii U ports. You know, Zelda Breath of the Wild, that was a Wii U title that got ported over to the Switch, and I'm very glad that it did very well on the Switch, but you know, but we have to acknowledge though that was originally a Wii U title. On top of that, Mario Kart 8, that's also a Wii U title. There are very slim pickings right now for the Switch in terms of unique games for that system. We only really have Super Mario Odyssey, and we have Splatoon 2. But on the Wii U, you have Super Mario 3D World, and you also have Splatoon, the original game. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit off track, but anyways, but yeah, that was basically my little thing about that. But the reason why I brought up that point though is because I think because of that choice and that little thing right there, I think I would personally pick the PS4 over the Nintendo Switch on that basis because of that. But anyway, so let's move on. So what type of computer do you use? I actually use a Dell Inspiron with it has some pretty nice processors inside there. I think it's got an Intel i5 processor with NVIDIA I'm sorry, I'm looking up there because the box to that graphics card is up there. It is the GeForce GTX 750 Ti graphics card in there, and it has 16 megabytes of RAM. And that computer is freaking awesome, especially when processing videos like this for you guys and all that kind of stuff. Your third question is, what's my favorite Mario game? And do not worry about asking anything that is not Sega related. Even though I don't know if you heard me talking to Dante earlier, I absolutely love the Dreamcast and all that kind of stuff because I feel like it's underrated. But that doesn't mean that I am a blind Sega fanboy or anything like that, because I absolutely love games for other systems and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, if you ever want to ask me anything on these particular Q&As about like asking me for like what do I like on other stuff other than Sega, please ask. I absolutely enjoy answering these questions because my favorite Mario game, oh boy, I'm split between 3 games at the moment. I love Super Mario World, Super Mario Galaxy, and Super Mario Galaxy 2. I cannot choose those games more than the other. Now, to be fair though, I know some people go like, you picked Super Mario World over Super Mario 3 or something. The thing is, I never played Super Mario Bros. 3 in my life. I really need to get it. But but these are the games that I have played and all that kind of stuff. And out of all the Mario games that I played, those 3 are absolutely my favorite. I really enjoy those games. So yeah, that basically concludes everything you asked me, GK Mineral Legend Gaming. I think I pronounced that right. I hope I pronounced that right this time. And I hope I pronounced it right. But anyway, so yeah, thanks GK Mineral Legend for giving me a chance to answer your questions, and I hope my responses to your question were pretty good for you. So once again, thank you GK Mineral Legend for asking me these questions. So the next person that I'm going to be answering the question of is Lako, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Anyways, so the 3 questions that you asked me is favorite console, how'd you come with the name Saiga GeneCast, and what's the rarest thing that I own? Okay, so the favorite console, I don't know if you've been on this channel for any length of time, Lako, but I think it should be pretty obvious what's my favorite console. It's none other than the Sega Dreamcast. The Sega Dreamcast was the very first console I have ever owned, and I still have that original first Dreamcast with me. It's sitting actually right in this very room, and down right there. I actually have it hooked up to my CRT TV so that I can basically play House of the Dead 2 with my light gun and all that stuff. But anyways, I absolutely love the Sega Dreamcast. I love it so much that I've basically dedicated this whole entire YouTube channel for the Sega Dreamcast because it's that awesome. How did I come with the name Saiga GeneCast? Oh boy. Okay, so this name is actually a I don't think that's the word. I was about to say portmanteau, but I don't think that's the word. It's basically a combination. That's the better word. It's a combination of 2 of my favorite consoles ever. It is the Sega Genesis and the Sega Dreamcast. See, I combined the Sega Gene part and then merged it with the cast from Sega Dreamcast. So that's how I basically came up with the name Saiga GeneCast. And I changed the Sega part because obviously I didn't want to get, you know, I didn't want Sega to come after me and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, so the rarest thing that I have. This is a hard question because, okay, so hold on a second, let me get it out of here. It's a Dreamcast game. Now, the rarest game that I have, based on game sales, on how well did this game sold during the Dreamcast lifespan, or any console's lifespan for that matter, is Ooga Booga. I don't know how well you can see that. I hope that's perfect. Okay, Ooga Booga. Yeah, it's actually a very rare game. You might see it go for like not that expensive of a price on eBay, but it is actually a very rare game because this game sold extremely poorly when it first came out. I think it only sold like 15,000 copies here in the US. Yes, there were only 15,000 copies of this friggin' amazing game right here sold. That's pretty bad. But of course the Dreamcast was dying at that time, so that's why. Oh, by the way, this game, I don't know if you ever seen this game, Lako, but this game is very good. If you like Rocket League, you are going to like this game. There is actually a mode in this game that plays a lot like Rocket League. So if you want something like Rocket League on the Dreamcast, look no further than Ooga Booga. But anyway, so yeah, that's basically all the questions that you asked me, Lako. Thanks again for, thanks for giving me the opportunity to answer your questions. It was a whole heck of a lot of fun answering them, and I hope my responses were pretty good enough for you, Lako. So once again, Lako, thank you for giving me an opportunity to answer your questions. So, the next person that we're going to be answering the question of is MJ Legacy. He starts off by congratulating me on 2,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, MJ Legacy. So his three question is, do you believe that Sega will return to manufacturing hardware again? What's my favorite Sega game currently? And what's my favorite snack? Okay, so this is gonna be interesting because honestly, I hope you don't have too much hopes on Sega coming back to the hardware and all that kind of stuff, because honestly, I don't think Sega is going to come back to the hardware market anytime soon. I know they're doing a lot of cool deals with Retrobit by making wireless controllers for their consoles and all that stuff, but the thing is though, is that I don't think, I mean it's a step towards that, but I don't think it's a drastic enough step towards it in order to them to be making hardware anytime soon. I really wish I did, but I don't think so. And I kind of have a little bit of a theory about that, because when the Sega, after the Dreamcast was discontinued, Sega was basically bought up by a company called Sammy. Sammy was always a company that was heavily invested in pachinko machines. And if you've ever looked at basically Sega's financial status, you will notice that 90% of their income comes from pachinko machines. It's very obvious who's in charge here. Sammy, I'm sure you know that they never made a console and all that stuff. So with their leadership in charge over Sega and all that kind of stuff, I have a hard time believing that if there's no drastic change in the leadership of Sega Sammy, there is no way that they're gonna be manufacturing hardware again. However though, I do see them making steps towards the right direction, because as I said before, yes, they're making wireless controllers with Retrobit. But also, did you know there's a new House of the Dead that's coming out? Oh yes, and it looks pretty friggin' cool, and I'm so happy about that. And that is the step in the right direction. Before we see Sega make hardware again, I need to see Sega bring a lot of their IPs back. A new House of the Dead, like I just said. A new Daytona, which unfortunately I don't think the new Daytona that they released in arcades is that amazing, but oh well, at least they tried. A new Skies of Arcadia, a new Shenmue 3, but Yu Suzuki's working on that. A new Sonic Adventure, and so on and so forth. A new Rise Star, a new Streets of Rage, a new Vector Man, there are so many titles that Sega owns. A new Space Harrier would be friggin' boss. And all these amazing titles. They have so many of them, yet they don't take advantage of it, at least at the moment. But when I start seeing more of those new IPs start showing up, then that's when I'm kinda gonna be moving towards that Sega is going back into hardware again. But we shall see. But at the moment, I don't think Sega is gonna return to hardware. My favorite Sega game currently has to be Shenmue. I friggin' love Shenmue. It is an amazing game. It is a whole combination of all these awesome blends of genres of games just meshed into one. I mean, you got a fighting game that is mixed with an RPG, mixed with a free roaming game, and this game allows you to do so many things. Like you're able to pick up oranges, you're able to interact with the environment, and the people are very what's the word? They are very interactive and all that stuff, where depending on the different times of the day, they do different things, which is boss. And also, they did something that is very cool, and this is why it's never mentioned. It is very hard to do, but if you do have the Dreamcast version of Shenmue 2, then you can actually transfer your save files, albeit with a special disc that you have to do. You have to convert your North American Shenmue save file into a European one in order to basically transfer it over to the Shenmue 2 copy. But if you're able to do that, then you're able to transfer everything that you did, every single decision that you've done in Shenmue 1 over to Shenmue 2, which is amazing. So yeah, that's why it's my favorite Sega game as of right now. My favorite snack? It's interesting. Popcorn. Yes, I absolutely love popcorn. Especially the air pop variety, not the stupid, disgusting, microwavable popcorn bag crap. That stuff sucks. But air pop popcorn is amazing. I absolutely loved it. Some people taste wow, I can't believe I'm messing that up. Some people say it tastes like styrofoam, but of course, you have to add in the salt and the canola oil. Wow, I all of a sudden just started to mess up words. But anyways, So yeah, you need to put in the salt and canola oil, and it will taste amazing. I love air pop popcorn, and it actually has a lot of health benefits and all that kind of stuff. It has a lot of fiber with aids in your digestion, and on top of that too is that it has a lot of polyphenols, which are extremely powerful antioxidants, which is pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, and you concluded by calling me a maniac. Thank you for that. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, once again, like all the other people, thank you very much, MJ Legacy, for giving me a chance to answer your question. It was a whole heck of a lot of fun answering your questions and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed them, and I really hope that my responses to all your questions was very thorough, and I hope you really enjoyed my responses to your questions. But anyways, once again, thank you, MJ Legacy, for giving me a chance to answer your questions. So the next person I'm going to be answering the question of has a very interesting username that I'm not going to be answering I'm not going to say on camera. But anyways, his 3 questions is why you dressed up like you're about to slaughter some sand people, if you're interested in history, and if so, what historical era do you like the most, and what's my favorite book. Okay, so why am I dressed up like I'm about to slaughter some sand people? Because I do it every day. It's fun. You should try it. I am absolutely interested in history. I love studying about people's past and all that kind of stuff. And it should be pretty obvious about how I basically study all this Sega GeneCast, like history and all that kind of stuff. It's a whole heck of a lot of fun. But I also love studying, you know, like history of civilizations and all that. Anything history I enjoy. Because it's fun to look back and to see people's mistakes and all that kind of stuff, so that you learn from them, so that you don't make the same mistake twice in the future. It's pretty cool, and I really do enjoy that. And the historical era that I like the most is World War II. There's a lot of interesting things that's happened through that time period and all that kind of stuff, but I absolutely love the World War II era. It's fun. Favorite book? My favorite book, okay, so this is gonna be interesting because I don't know if you go to college, or I don't know like what grade you're in and all that kind of stuff, but the thing is with school is that, okay, so I used to love reading a lot when I was younger and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is that school basically forces so much reading down your throat and all that kind of stuff that over time I have developed an aversion to reading and all that kind of, it's a shame because reading is a lot of fun. But I developed an aversion because we have to read so much stuff and all that kind of thing that I just don't, I spend so much time reading like textbooks and all that stuff that I really don't have a lot of time in order to enjoy basically fiction books, anything. Those are my favorite types of books, fiction books. I don't really have time to read those anymore, and that kind of sucks. But I still really do enjoy the books that I read when I was a child. You know, it brings back a lot of memories for me. There's a lot of them that I like, but I think if I had to choose which one would be my favorite book, I think my pick would actually be Holes by Louis Sekar. Holes is a very interesting book. You know, it's about a boy that goes into like a criminal camp and all that stuff where you basically have to, it's a little bit different than a normal prison where you basically have to like dig up holes every single day. And then once you've done that, you're free to do whatever you want and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. But the thing is, they can't escape because they're in the middle of the desert. But anyways, yeah, but it's a very interesting book. There's a lot of interesting character dynamics. I really like the very unconventional style of writing that's in that book, and I highly would recommend that you read it. But anyway, so once again, I'm very sorry that I cannot pronounce your username and all that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. But you know who you are. Thank you for giving me the chance to answering all your questions. I really hope my responses to your questions were good enough for you. But once again, thank you for giving me the chance to answer your questions. So the next person that I'm going to be moving on to is Mirage, the one and only. His 3 question is, what's my favorite car? Have you seen Hard Boy by John Woo? And what's my favorite video game one-liner? Oh boy. Okay, so my favorite car. That's interesting. Because I've never really drawn a huge variety of cars. There's only 2 that I've ever drawn. Drove. Drone. I don't know why I said that. Drove. There are only 2 cars that I ever drove. It is the Honda CR-V and the Kia Soul. Okay, so, and out of the choice of those 2, I would probably pick the Kia Soul. Mainly because that's the car I own. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's not the only reason. The other reason is because I thought the Honda CR-V is too big, it's too open, too spacious. I don't like cars that are like that because I don't know if it's just me and all that stuff, but I get incredibly motion sick when I go into like those bigger cars and all that kind of stuff. I don't like it, you know, it's too much, it allows too much sunlight in, which really hurts my eyes and all that kind of stuff. But the Kia Soul, you know, it's smaller, it might has a, you know, like a dark interior and all that kind of stuff, so it gives a very subdued kind of look when you're inside the car. It's very nice. And it runs pretty well too. I've driven it for like half 100,000 miles already, and it's still kicking. It still works pretty well and all that kind of stuff, and I'm very glad about that. But yeah, if I had to pick a favorite car in real life, Kia Soul. But in games, that's interesting. Because I've never really played a lot of racing games until I came upon the Saiga GeneCast and the Tokyo Extreme Racer series. And of course you probably know where I'm going with this. So basically my favorite cars in video games are basically the ones that I like the most in basically Tokyo Extreme Racer. You know, I like the Nissan Skyline R34. I especially like the Datsun 280Z. I like the Subaru Impreza, and so on, so much and so more. There's a lot of very good cars in Tokyo Extreme Racer. If you've never heard of that franchise, I really highly recommend that you look them up and play those games because they're pretty good. Yeah. So the next question that you ask is, have I seen Heart Boy by John Woo? Sorry, I haven't. If it's a TV show or anything like that, I probably most likely haven't watched it, because the thing is that I don't watch too much TV and all that kind of stuff, because due to stupid organic chemistry, I have, you know, like I basically have no time for basically TV shows and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, but I haven't seen Heart Boy by John Woo. Your last question, what's your favorite video game one-liner? Oh boy, I think that's gonna be a hard one. I don't know which one I particularly like the most, because whenever I play games, I don't pay attention too much to I mean, I get the dialogue in order to basically know what I'm doing, especially helpful when you're like Metal Gear Solid and all that kind of stuff, but oh boy, wow, I don't know. Oh yeah, actually no, I do know. Sorry for that weird pause. It's from Shenmue, Ryu Hazuki. If you've ever seen the Shenmue and all that kind of stuff, you know Ryu Hazuki in the American version has the most freaking monotonous voice you will ever hear. It is so freaking funny when he delivers the line, "Do you know where I can find sailors?" That line always stands out to me so well. It is so funny and it is so memorable, and that's actually one of the reasons why Shenmue is freaking awesome. But yeah, that if I had to choose, that would be my favorite video game one-liner. So that basically concludes everything that you asked me, Mirage, the one and only. Like the others, thank you for giving me a chance to answer all your questions. It was a whole heck of a lot of fun to answer all of them, and I hope my responses to all your questions were pretty good and all that kind of stuff. I hope I didn't disappoint. But anyways, once again, thanks Mirage, the one and only, for giving me the chance to answer your questions. So the next person that I'm going to be answering the question of is Official Mario Toast, and he only asked one question. Favorite Spider-Man villain? Venom. Hands down, Venom. He is like the perfect anti-Spider-Man to me. You know, like when I see Spider-Man and Venom clash together, they're like yin and yangs. It's freaking awesome. It's kind of like the dynamism between Batman and Joker, or Spider-Man and Lex Luthor. Venom and Spider-Man go so well freaking together. And what's very cool is that there's actually going to be a Venom movie coming out. I forgot the date and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, there's a Venom movie coming out, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I can't wait for that. But anyway, so yes, Venom is absolutely my favorite Spider-Man villain. He's pretty freaking cool. So that's basically all the questions that you asked me, Official Mario Toast. I noticed that the last time you also, you know, only asked me one question at a time and all that kind of stuff, but it's absolutely fine. If you got any more like other questions for me and all that kind of stuff, like more than one and all that, please feel free to ask. It's absolutely no problem, because you know it's due to the way that this channel like subscriber base is growing, it's gonna be a long time to, you know, like basically get another chance to ask me a question. So if you're like a little bit nervous and don't want to ask me more than one questions, don't worry about that. You can ask me 3 questions, absolutely fine. But you know, but basically if you only have one question to ask me every time, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. Oh, whoops, almost knocked my little giveaway jar right there. But anyways, thank you, official Mario Toast, for giving me a chance to answer your questions. It's a whole heck of a lot of fun answering them, and I really hope that my responses to your questions were pretty good enough for you, because I don't want to disappoint. But anyways, once again, thank you, official Mario Toast, for giving me a chance to answer your questions. So the next person that I'm going to be answering the question of is Poke14478, and he asked me 3 questions. Do you care that I never gave you shameless plugs last year? If I asked you 4 questions, would it break the law of physics? And is Michael a maniac? So, to be honest, I really don't care that you didn't give me a shameless plug last year and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, I just let people be who they are. They can do whatever they want, you know, and because I have no control over that. You are in control of what you do, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I really don't mind that you don't give me a shameless plug last year. It's absolutely fine. But if you ask me 4 questions, would it break the law of physics? Absolutely. Oh yes. Do not ever ask me more than 4 questions, because I swear everything. No, I'm just kidding about that. No, to be honest, no, it wouldn't break the law of physics, but I would highly recommend that you don't ask me more than 4 questions, because, you know, if I let somebody, you know, ask 4 questions and all that kind of stuff, and I let it go, you know, like basically over and over again, what's gonna happen is that, you know, basically then everybody just goes like, well, why can't I ask 4 questions? And then basically now I have to answer, you know, like everybody's, you know, in 4 questions, and that increases the amount of questions that I need to answer, and it makes these videos way longer, and it takes a lot of effort and time out of my day and all that kind of stuff. So I really don't want to do that. Dante did it the last time, but however, he is absolutely cool. He absolutely, you know, didn't do that the next time, and that's why I let him go for that. But yeah, but if you really are tempted to ask me 4 questions, please don't do it. Please don't do it. It makes it a lot harder for me and all that kind of stuff. And your last question is, Michael is a maniac. Well, apparently 2 other people called me a maniac earlier, so I assume the answer is yes. No, I'm just kidding about that. But anyways, no, but well, I leave that up to you to decide if I'm a maniac or not. But anyways, thank you, Poke14478. Gotta get that right. Thank you, Poke14478, for giving me a chance to answer your questions. It was a whole heck of a lot of fun answering them and all that kind of stuff. And I hope my answers to all your questions and all that kind of stuff was good enough for you. I really hope I really hope you enjoyed me answering your questions, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so once again, thanks Poke14478 for giving me a chance to answer your questions. Alright, so the next person that I'm going to be answering the question of is RYR99. And his 3 questions is, do you know anything about a proposed Sega console, Sega Spartan? If the Sega Spartan is getting released, would you buy it? And do I like the Nickelodeon TV show Henry Danger? Okay, so unfortunately, I don't know anything too much about the new proposed Sega console, Sega Spartan. Mainly because, you know, the thing is that people have been doing those kind of petitions for years, RYR99. And the thing is that, you know, like, to have like a couple of 100,000 of signatures is pretty cool enough. But when you're looking in terms of how well do consoles sell and all that type of stuff, they usually have to sell in the millions in order to be profitable and all that kind of stuff. A few thousand is not going to be enough of a reason. On top of that, the company that's really in charge of Sega right now, the Sammy Corporation, is not really interested in basically like gamings and, you know, consoles and all that stuff. In fact, they're actually more interested in stuff like pachinko machines. And if you ever look at their financial reports, 90% of Sega's income comes from pachinko machines. It's not surprising who is really in charge, and that breaks my heart, because yeah, I'm sure, you know, you want a new Sega console, and I definitely want a new Sega console. But the thing is that in reality, the way things seem to be right now, doesn't really seem to prove that there is gonna be a new Sega console. It breaks my heart to say that, but I think that's the case. However, it might change though. Before we see a new Sega console, I think that we're going to see a lot of new Sega IPs been brought back and all that kind of stuff. And they're actually doing a lot of cool stuff. You know, of course, you know, they did like Sonic Mania and all that kind of stuff, but they also did the new Daytona USA. Unfortunately, that game isn't particularly the most amazing thing in the world. I kind of wish they did it better, but that's okay. But they also are making a new House of the Dead game for the arcades. That's freaking cool. So yeah, if I happen to see more and more and more of their Sega bringing more IPs back from the grave, then I would definitely be more believing that they're gonna make a new Sega console, but we'll see. But hypothetically, like you're gonna ask in the second question, if they release the Sega Spartan, would I buy it? This answer would depend on how good the Sega Spartan would be. If it had an amazing lineup of games at launch, like the Sega Dreamcast did, absolutely, I would absolutely buy it. But on the other hand, if it basically come out with only like one game, yeah, here's this one game, and it's not that amazing, forget it. I wouldn't buy the Sega Spartan. But if it did, it had like an awesome launch like the Sega Dreamcast, oh yes, I would absolutely buy it. And your last question, do you like the Nickelodeon TV show Henry Danger? Unfortunately, there's no way I can respond to this RYR99 because I don't know if you heard my response to, who was it? I'm sorry, I forgot. But there was a previous person that I answered the question of, and he asked me if I saw a specific TV show and all that stuff. The thing is that I don't watch TV, and it's because obviously, with organic chemistry in the way, no, not just organic chemistry, but like I always spend a lot of time studying and all that kind of stuff and working and all that I basically don't have a lot of time for TV shows. So that's basically my response. No, I can't quite comment on that particular question because I have not seen the TV show. But anyway, so that basically concludes all the questions that you asked me, RYR99. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to answer your questions. It was fun to answer all of them, and I hope that my responses to your questions were good enough for you. Once again, RYR90. Yeah, I hope you're not disappointed with all the questions, my responses to your questions. I hope they were thorough and all that stuff. And basically, once again, RYR99. Thank you for giving me a chance to answer your questions. All right. So the next person and the last person that we're going to be moving on to is Spike Spiegel, like that username. Great show too. What's your favorite Need for Speed game, favorite RPG, and favorite guilty pleasure song? My favorite Need for Speed game. Boy, man, the thing is that before I got into the Dreamcast, I wasn't really into racing games. Now with the Dreamcast, I am very into the racing games, and unfortunately, there's not a Need for Speed game on the Dreamcast, which breaks my heart. But with that being said, so the point I'm trying to make is that because I never really had a real passion for racing games when I was growing up, I was never particularly interested in the Need for Speed games. Yes, I know. Even though I heard a lot of amazing reviews about them, I was just, at that point in my life, I just didn't care about them because I didn't care about racing games. But with that being said, I am very interested in the Need for Speed games now that you brought it up. So, this is kind of a weird thing because I'm about to ask you a question in a Q&A video. But my question for you is that, what is your favorite Need for Speed game? What Need for Speed game would you absolutely recommend? Because, as I said, I would love to get into the Need for Speed games, and I think it would be pretty cool and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, please tell me, what would be your favorite Need for Speed game? I heard people say stuff, again, it's the internet forums and all that kind of stuff. They're not the most detailed things in the world, but I heard people say stuff like, Need for Speed Most Wanted, the 2005 version is good, but I've also heard people say that the newer version is good, but they hate the old version, and the other way around. They like the old version, but like the new... They like the new version and they hate the new version, so it's weird. But I also heard stuff like Underground 2 is pretty good as well. So it's so conflicting and all that kind of stuff. But please tell me in the comments of this video what is your favorite Need for Speed game, because I would definitely pick it up on your recommendation. My favorite RPG, hoo boy. My favorite RPG is absolutely Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and I'm so glad there's going to be a Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out. But I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts. It was really the game that made me into the gamer that I am today. I spent so many hours playing that game. I don't know if because there was a save file that I had where I basically played the game for 200 hours, but I think what happened is that I must have accidentally deleted that file on my PS2 memory card accidentally. But so I can't really prove about the amount of time that I used to sink into that game. But no, I played the living daylights out of Kingdom Hearts. I played it so much when I was younger and all this stuff. I absolutely loved it. And so that's why it definitely is my favorite RPG ever. My favorite guilty pleasure song? Oh boy. I'm sorry for the blank stare. I'm trying to think out of the top of my head. I think the one that I'd probably choose would be Hello by Lionel Richie. Hello. Isn't okay. I'm not gonna sing. I probably am. I think I'm a terrible singer. But anyways, so yeah, Hello by Lionel Richie has to be my favorite song. But anyway, so that basically concludes all the questions that you asked me, Spike Spiegel. Once again, like all the others, thank you for giving me a chance to answer all your questions. It was a whole heck of a lot of fun for me to answer them, and I hope my responses to your questions were pretty good, Spike. And because, you know, like, yeah, I want to give the most detailed responses possible to everybody and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you are absolutely satisfied with my responses. And once again, thanks, Spike Spiegel, for giving me a chance to answer your questions. And I'm going to say something very special to you because of your freaking username. I so have to say this because I do like Cowboy Bebop. Sorry for the little jump cut there, but basically I forgot what I wanted to say. But basically, Spike, what I wanted to say because of your, Cowboy Bebop is, see you, Space Cowboy, because you're gonna carry that weight. I know that was probably really weird, but anyways, thanks again, Spike, for giving me a chance to answer your questions. So, with Spike out of the way, that basically concludes this Q&A. Once again, guys, I'm very sorry that I couldn't get this Q&A in time, but again, I hope you guys understand, why that is the case and all that kind of stuff. But with that out of the way, I really hope you guys enjoyed my responses to all your questions. I try to be as thorough and, basically as positive as I can this time around. And yeah, and I really hope you guys enjoyed that. So once again, thank you guys for giving me the chance to answer all your questions. It was a whole lot of pleasure for me to do them. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So with that being said, this is the Saiga GeneCast. My name is Michael, and may the dream be with you.